good evening, and welcome to episode 3 of The Pulse. I am your host, Ronin Okami, and this week we're going to be talking about us as gamers and consumers of products that are being provided by these AAA multi-billion dollar companies that seem to be just worthless across the board. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I understand there are people behind the scenes that are doing stuff as well, but you gotta be fucking kidding me with this shit, guys. We are going to get into it this episode about how we need to stop giving these motherfuckers money. And yes, this is not going to be a kid-friendly show. I am not being paid by YouTube. I am not monetized. So I'm gonna say whatever the hell I want in regards to this particular shit right here because it's gone too far. It's gone too far. We're giving these guys $60 to $70, and we're getting these half-assed, not finished, not even really thought through products just so they can cash in and have a Merry Christmas and buy their fifth Jag. Okay, I'm done with that. I am literally done with that. We will talk about that, but before we get into that shit, let's go ahead and talk about the new releases that came out this week, and let's cover those for those that haven't been, paying any attention to this stuff. Just want to make sure that my viewers know what's out and what they can purchase if they want to purchase it, because some of the stuff out there, no, I'd hold on to your money, dog. But let's go ahead and get into it. This week, Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker came out on the 7th, and of course, if you're not playing it right now and you're listening to me, it's most likely because you can't get into the servers. Servers are full, but rightfully so. The game has been amazing. It has had multiple expansions that have been really great. I personally need to get back into it. I'm still stuck on the first game, Realm Reborn. I haven't even gotten to Heavensward yet. Okay, so I need to sit down, take the time to actually play some more, and maybe get my warrior up. I go switch to a dragoon and then go from there. But again, I really want the samurai class. So we'll see what we can do about that. Anyway, Heavenly Bodies is also came out on December 7th. I believe that is a puzzle game in space where you work to try to fix things at a space station. Sounds like only a one playthrough to me, but it's for those that like puzzles and challenges. I think it's cool. You should check it out. Along with that, Serious Sam actually came out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One older generation. So on the 7th, I have this one on PC, but much like many of you guys, you got a Steam library with like 400, 500 plus games, and you have only played maybe like 10 of them. So it's still sitting in there waiting to be played. Spellforce 3 Reforced, I believe that's an RTS. It also came out on the 7th, and it's now available for multiple consoles as well, so you might want to check that out. Might be something to play on the PS5. See if, graphically, it looks good. I can't complain. White Shadows also came out on the 7th. And then also, looks like, I'm just double checking here. No, that's it for the 7th. So on the 8th, of course, we got the bad boy that came out, Halo Infinite. Everybody's been playing the multiplayer beta. Now the campaign is now available, so you should be checking that out. So far, the campaign of what I played is pretty good. It's not bad. So I think Halo is probably the only game this year that has not fully disappointed me across the board so far. So that's good. What also came out on the 7th, and I apologize, Switch owners, I'm sorry, I overlooked it in my list here. Gang Beast and Life is Strange True Colors also came out on the 7th. So if you guys were waiting for those, go ahead and pick those up. They are now available. Next, on the 8th, also Legend of Mana came out for iOS and Android. It's a weird release, you think? I mean, you could have probably put that out anytime, but alright. Whatever, Square. Whatever. GTFO is updated on December 9th. It's been out for a little bit. I think it was in early access, and now it's got a full release. Loop Hero, also on the 9th, is released, and that's for the Switch. Lucky Tale has finally released on PC, so if you've been playing that on the Xbox, you can now play that on Steam, it looks like. And Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX has released on Switch, PC, and iOS as of the 9th. And the last game of note was Witchwood, which has released on all consoles for the 9th. So that is it for our release window. So let's go ahead and move on into our next segment that I wanted to talk about, these AAA developers. Okay, so before we begin, let me preface this is that I'm not necessarily blaming developers on the job that they are being forced to do by higher management or leadership. If you have bad bosses, it usually turns into bad results for everyone that's involved. It's not necessarily the fault of those that are working hard to try to produce something. It just may be the call of someone else that is higher above you that thinks they know the job better than you do, even though you're the one doing the work. Let's get that out of the way. However, you still have a responsibility to voice and reflect on the things that are being done when you know your community is against it. So while I will say that, hey, a job is a job, and you're trying to do said job because you're being told to do job a certain way, and you're going to do a job a certain way, regardless of the consequences. There is a moral responsibility that people should take on, and I say should in air quotes, when it comes down to providing a product or service for those that are paying for it. So, with that being said, oh my God, what is wrong with these AAA multi-billion-dollar developers slash companies, and they cannot produce a single solitary product that is in its full completion? There is either something wrong, there is either something broken, or there is either something missing. So, let me give you the first example. We got Call of Duty on November 5th, Vanguard. In Metacritic right now, this dog water is literally sitting at a 73 for Metascore, and the user score is a 3.8. Honestly, it should be lower, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm sure there's some, manipulation going in the background regarding this game, but you can reach out to Nero Cinema, you can talk to 402 Thunder, you can talk to The Murder Show, GG Reloaded, whoever you want to that is your Call of Duty representative, and they will tell you flat out that this game is dog shit. It is literally trash. There is so much going on with this game. I literally have an entire video showing you all the current bugs that are wrong with this game. In fact, I'm gonna play it right now. Hold on. Okay, so look right here. Look, we're going down this list. It's literally 100 different bugs currently sitting in Vanguard. And not only Vanguard, Warzone as well, and the older games also have bugs. Whatever update they made recently has torn up those games as well. So let me be the first person to say, I understand stuff happens. Maybe you have some new people that don't understand the engine, and in Activision's case, you probably have a whole bunch of new people that don't understand how to make updates in this new engine because you've kind of fucked up your company with your nonsense and your stupid shit in the background. The Activision Blizzard, you guys are kind of circling the drain right now. we notice. So I don't know what your situation is. Maybe you need to put some stuff on pause. Maybe fix some of your older games first before you try throwing out some new shit. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's not looking good. I mean, you got a few people that are still enjoying Warzone to the best that they can. But, my God, what is going on here? This is not a good look for anyone. No matter what kind of company you have. You guys are a billion-dollar company. And y'all can't get this shit together to save your life. So, like I said, I'm not necessarily blaming developers. They may be attacking you directly because of the shit you've already pulled. So, I'm gonna throw up the shrug on this one and say, maybe you should probably negotiate, getting your workers in order first, as far as the negotiation of how well these games are going to come out in the future. Because let me be the first one to tell you, is just that I haven't played the Call of Duty since Modern Warfare, the 2019 one, and I definitely didn't buy this motherfucker for sure because I already knew it was hot garbage. You guys crashed on your like launch, presentation with all those B-listing actors and Little John. So yeah, that was already a foul ball in my book. So I don't know what to tell you, but yeah. So that's just one example. Let's move on to the next one. Now that I'm through digging in Activision's ass about their shit, Battlefield 2042 currently sitting at a 69 Metascore and a 2.2 user score. God damn! Y'all want to explain this? I mean, there's a ton of problems out there for this too, but I didn't want to grab the list again because there's so many. Again, I don't understand this one because this one is even more just spectacularly just ignorant than the Activision one, and I don't think you guys are having the same issues they are having in house. Maybe you are, but I'm not. It's not as mainstream as Activision Blizzard and Bobby Kotick and all his shit. But my guy, all y'all had to do was maybe go back to Battlefield 3 and 4, look at that and say, hey, let's move all the UI and mechanics and all that other stuff over to 2042 and maybe spruce it up a bit. And yeah, that would be it for the most part. I mean, you guys have kind of the similar problem that I have with 343 Studios and Halo Infinite, but I'll get to that in a second. But where are your modes at, my guy? I mean, this is a $70 game for some people on actual consoles. And the PC guys, I mean, the PC guys are kind of giving you a fair shake now that the patches are coming. And yeah, I know the patches are coming, so it's a little bit better. I've got a friend that plays, and he's like, yeah, it's much better with the patches now. But again, there's still some issues with frame rate on new cards versus old cards, and optimization issues, and just all kinds of weird things going on. Again, you guys are multi-billion-dollar companies with a B. FIFA makes more money than most people will make in like 10 lifetimes, and it's FIFA, and it's trash, by the way. I don't get it. I don't understand. Where is the disconnect between what the player and the consumer that you are trying to get said money from, and your development team and what you mandate them to do? Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to innovate. There are some innovations here that are good, and there's innovations that can be appreciated inside of these development cycles. But for the most part, y'all ain't doing shit. Or it doesn't look like it. I mean, the maps are too big for the most part. You have to get a vehicle to go in certain places or to get somewhere. Otherwise, it takes all day to find someone. At least that's the feedback we get from the people that are playing. So, and for a while, you couldn't even tell who was an enemy because it would reticle the enemy as a friend, or vice versa, or whatever that circumstance was. I don't have the game, so I'm not criticizing you for the gameplay or any of the other stuff. There are just people that are out there that are, and they're telling you that this shit is fucked up, and you guys need to fix it. And like I said, developers need their time too. They're human beings. You go on vacations. If you overwork these individuals, you need to stop doing that shit. I'm pretty sure people will be pleasantly more pleased to wait on a delayed game and make sure that all the shit's working and that they get a quality product than for you to throw some shit out so you can make your fiscal year profits to show to the shareholders. The shareholders ain't gonna have any money if you motherfuckers ain't getting paid by us, that are gonna just eventually say, hey, look, we've had enough of this shit. You guys are not doing the job we asked you to do. We'll find somebody else that's actually giving us the quality products that we're asking for. And you can go fuck yourself, because that's basically what's going to start happening now. The jig is up in most cases for some of our people out here. Now, you may be catering to whales, which may be also the other problem, but I can tell you for a fact right now, nobody's happy about this shit. They're just not. All right, That's all I got to say about EA and Battlefield 2042. Fix your shit. You're not doing, the people that have, been dedicated to looking at your game any real service. They're pissed off at you, and it shows. All right. Now, to not just leave those particular games in a particular dirty light, let's talk about another one real quick. All right, New World. New World has a meta score of 70 and a user score of 4.9. And honestly, that should be lower too, to be perfectly honest with you. They've added some expansion stuff and they fixed a few bugs here and there, but you still got a duping problem. You still got a gold issue problem. You still got just the resources are in just disarray across the board. There's glitches everywhere. People are not happy, man. Again, and again, we're looking not necessarily at the game and all the shit that's wrong, but the people that are in front of the game, which is Amazon. Game Studios, another multi-billion-dollar company with a B, putting out bullshit product. I can't, bro. It points back to where Bungie was telling me, like, game development's hard. It's hard to make content. XYZ. I'm like, no shit. I think that's the most legit statement that old boy said when he was having that interview with all those other guys. He's just like, content's hard. It's too difficult to make. We're spinning our wheels and all this other stuff. And I'm like, look at this shit. You want people to pay a premium for these products, but then your products are garbage out the gate. They're not ready, but you still want the money though. See, it's situations like this, and this is why I said, we as gamers, as consumers, the people that are actually paying for these products, we need to hold a higher standard of scrutiny to these individuals, not because they give us our favorite games, but because they continue to produce bullshit like this at a subpar level, and they expect a premium price to go along with it. If you would have given me Battlefield 2042 for $25, that probably would have been a good deal. But not at 60 or 70 for whoever's working on console. Same thing for Vanguard or in any other game that still has its issues. And Bungie has their issues with Halo Infinite, despite the good score. We're still going through the whole microtransactions versus modes. That situation is still taking place. I mean, I'm right back to, what is it going to take to get these guys on board with understanding us as gamers, as consumers, and saying, look, I don't care if you want to make $70 off your game, but you need to provide me with a $70 product. This is not $70. Not for any stretch of imagination. If I gave you the same product with all this shit broken in it, would you give me $70? No. You'd be looking at me like I was crazy. I was like, and rightfully so. So, it's not just that. I mean, and then it's a subpar product on top of that. Nintendo themselves just released a Pokemon game, and its current scores are in the middle range, but I'm almost willing to bet those Pokemon people are like, man, this is some bullshit. 74 Metacritic, and basically it's middle road score 5.5. What do I tell you? Again, these are multi-billion-dollar companies. These aren't indies. They're not working with a team of 2 or 3 or 4 people for hundreds of hours for 3 to 5 years. They're working the same amount of years with hundreds of thousands of people, and they're still putting out a shit product. There, it's right there in the open. It's still a shit product. They may not think so themselves, and I don't think the developers think they're doing a bad job. And I would agree with them. I don't think they are. I think that the circumstance is that if you have someone over you telling you what to do, and you just do it, and then the results are bad, they're going to blame you instead of blaming themselves because they didn't take the necessary time to consider that the consumer may want something different. Your consumer is the person you're trying to sell this shit to. Ask them what they want. And they might allow you to provide it. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that we are always right. What I'm saying is that your sale depends on how well you can satisfy said consumer. If the consumer is not satisfied, regardless of what conversations you're having, then you're not going to sell said product. It's not going to leave your shelf. However, if you do work with the consumer, there are situations where you benefit. Like Realm Reborn, for example. Realm Reborn was hot ass coming out this kitchen when it first launched. They pulled that shit, reworked everything, talked to their community, listened, and then re-released. And now they are one of the best MMOs out there. Makes WoW look like dog shit. And there you go. So that's all it really takes. I don't want to harp too much on this because, as you can see, there are circumstances for each and every team, developer, person, whatever the case may be. But you guys shouldn't be treating consumers this way. You just shouldn't. So I'd like to know what you guys think. Feel free to leave some information in the comments about how you guys feel about these AAA developers not producing the AAA games for the AAA price that they're asking for. And again, like I said, it's not me trying to be malicious. I'm a consumer just like you guys. I buy my games. I don't have, teams from IGN or Game Informer or whoever getting, free copies to review before they actually get the plan. So I'm in the same boat as you guys are. Get the game, and the game turns out to be hot ass. I expect my reviewers to give me a decent review before I buy the game. But again, I'm right back to, why is this game hot ass when you've had 3-4 years to develop it and it's unfinished, it's buggy, it needs day one patches to fix a cavalcade of things. This does not resonate well. In most cases, especially in the Call of Duty side of the window, people would rather have the loot boxes back instead of whatever's been going on that's caused this wave of shenanigans. And again, I don't want to just point blame at people that are working really hard for others. It's just that it's looking pretty sus across the board when you have all these billion-dollar companies putting out shit products across the board. And again, EA, Activision, Amazon, Nintendo, dude, well, y'all don't have the money to get this thing straight, so that way you got a quality product? Somebody say something. I can't be the only one thinking this way. I refuse to think that way. But that's going to do it for this episode of The Pulse. I appreciate you guys coming to watch. Shout outs to my 53 subscribers. You guys have been hanging with me since I started my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to make more content. It's going to take a little time here. I'm seeing how I can keep a decent rhythm and keep talking without, tripping over myself with all the work that I have to do outside of this. But continue to like, subscribe, and follow me for notifications and stuff like that. YouTube has taken away the dislikes. Dislike the video and put a comment in there saying you disliked it. I don't know if you like it or dislike it unless you tell me what's going on. So I appreciate all of you, and see you next time. Peace.